So let's do a little talk. I'm making a video. So they can see the top of your head. Wave. They can see the top of your head. Wave. Y'all is not gonna believe the foolishness that I've been putting up with. Like, for real. So it all didn't come together until today. I don't know what was the delay in the brain or what happened, but it came together today. So maybe anyway. So since I started to write my book, like at the beginning of the year, I made it like my yearly. Ugh, hold on. I'm also about to paint, and I got like, ew. Hold on, let me shake this up some more. Cause ew, oh. Look at this. I said in January I was gonna finish this book by December. I changed my my words for this year was, for my vision board, was God, self, and others. Meaning I get God in first, then I worry about like my mental health, well-being, and then I worry about others. I've always lived in a place where I always put others before everything else. And so I'm trying to get my priorities in order. And it's been working well. So today, we gotta walk this thing down. So since I decided I was gonna do that in December, be done by December, another one of my things I wanted to do was, on my vision board it says, not just goals, habits. Meaning the things that I want to do, I want to have the discipline to actually carry it out every day, not to just do it one time. So the goal was to, hey, I love to write, so why shouldn't I write every day? Like not when I want to per se, but every day except for days that I'm not at the place I need to be with God and with self, right? And included in self is my writing, because it has to do with my mental well-being if I'm able to write. So I feel like that should be included as well. So with all that, I don't know. Let's see what happened. One thing I can't tell y'all about yet, but I can go around that for now. I immediately started like planning out a little schedule. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write 3 days a week. I'm gonna write when I'm at gymnastics. That didn't work because I talk too much at gymnastics, so I don't really focus on what I'm doing. So I can't do that at gymnastics per se, unless I'm gonna just like shut down and go to like a different area of the gym or something like that. Which is possible, but I didn't plan on doing that. Mainly because I'm teen mom and a lot of people know me and I'm like their comfort person there and all this stuff. So I just was like, okay, that's not gonna be the place. So then after doing all that, I finally get to writing, not per se 3 days a week, but I was writing a good bit to where I was on, I told y'all I was on Twitch. So I was on Twitch and everybody kept asking me like, what you gonna stream? What you gonna stream? Because if you do not know, Twitch is for gamers who actually show what they're playing on the game, and you can see it and you can talk to them, interact with them, whatever. So a friend of mine, good friend of mine, and I reconnected. So I've been on there a lot. At the time he was doing daily he was doing daily streams. So I was on there every day during the week. And then he didn't stream on the weekends, so I was on there on the weekends, but not as much. Kind of doing an outline real quick. So we have been catching up on there, and I mean, when I say it's been a good time, it was a good time. So at this point of doing this for like 3 months almost, well, really it started last year. So after doing it the amount of time I had been doing it, people's like, well, when you gonna start streaming or whatever? And I'm like, y'all, I really ain't got any stream. I ain't got no gaming system. I'm not gonna be on here not doing nothing, basically. And so they were like, it don't have to be video games, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whatever, I'll think about it. So I was like, well, I got one friend that I watch on there during the morning times before my other friend get on. And he does Minecraft, which is like, you can watch it, but it's nothing like pertinent going on to where you need to be paying attention for real, all that stuff. So I was like, when he's on, I have him on in the background while I'm being productive, like doing my writing for a little while. So I was like, oh, well, I guess during that time that I do that, I could do a stream and write. So I made the goal of creating a stream and doing writing 2 hours, at least 2 hours every morning. And I would do it on there on live, so I would have accountability. My friends would be on there. If they was on in the morning, they could be on, they could see me. Otherwise, it's just like keeping me on track of what I'm supposed to be doing. No biggie. And it was like right after I dropped RP off at school or something of that nature. And so it was going well. I met other people who wrote books. One person who was writing, it was like, I love the accountability. When you get on it right, I'm gonna get on it right. And so it kind of turned into a little bit of a community. And then I found one person who did like audiobooks, and then they play violin on their own audiobooks. It's like background music. I was like, that's so cool. So I made some connections like that. And then of course I talked to some of the friends that I had already been talking with online. So I was doing that. Then come summer, we're gonna go through this rabbit hole and then I'll come back. Then this summer, y'all know I went to Virginia. That was in March. When Arpa got out of school for the summer, I was still writing, but I wasn't writing in the morning. And it was kind of hard to fit it in because Arpa had gymnastics in the mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 9 to 12. And when we say 9, for me, that means I need to be there by 8:30. So basically that was my morning. And so I was like, I could still stream, but it wouldn't be as fun because I probably wouldn't have the sound on or whatever like that. And then at that time, I wasn't sitting at a table or anything. I was using chairs. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I can write during the afternoon. And then in the morning, I can do some editing or reworking or whatever like that. So I was like, okay, let's try this. So we tried that. And then I started like missing. I was like, I just need to work on the book. And if I'm sitting here working on the book in this place that I'm in right now, then I might as well just stream my RP at home. One of the reasons I didn't want to stream when RP was at home is because sometimes she'll go do something else and I can do it without being bothered. But most of the time when I'm on, other times when I'm on, she wants to be in front of the camera. And I don't like that she's in front of the camera on that platform because it's live, if that makes sense. So, like, you don't know what she's gonna do. You don't know who watching. It's a little different on YouTube because I can edit the video later and change it and all that. Basically, it's creepers in the world, and ain't nobody got time for that. So, I'm painting while I'm doing this. So I was like, okay, I can be on, as long as Harper don't get too crazy, I'll just stream when she at the house. So I had started streaming while she was at the house, and then she started to do like gymnastics. So some of the friends that I had on here knew she did gymnastics, and so they would want to see some of her stuff while she was practicing, because you could hear her. Of course, it makes a loud noise when she doing the practice or whatever at home. And so I'll be like, okay, you know, show them this, show them whatever. And so sometimes she would be on there doing gymnastics. Then it got to the point where basically when I was writing, she would practice her gymnastics. So I would turn my camera where it was half on her, half on me. But of course, it's still my stream. Like, you know what I mean? It gives them two things to watch. I'm not really paying attention unless somebody's saying something. I'm playing music in the background. I'm actually doing the writing or the proofreading or whatever I'm supposed to be doing for the day. So one day in the end of June, I would say, it ain't been that long. The end of June, I would say, I was on live. Harper was doing her gymnastics. We was minding our goddamn own business. And somebody, like my connection, what? My connection just cut off. No, I didn't. Dang on. I said dang on. Somebody like reported my account. And now it took me a while to figure out this what had happened, because I had checked my email and it was in my email. I was like, what you mean? They reported my account. Talking about my account was somebody that was under the age of 13. First of all, if you go back and look at even my messaging, you could tell that's not 13-year-old. Anyway, under 13. You have to be 13 to be on Twitch. And so I guess they just didn't want her face on that period, but they automatically like not even suspended my account, just deactivated it basically. So I was mad because at this point I had started gaining followers and was streaming at a pretty regular rate so people could because people was enjoying it or whatever. Like one day I stayed on for like 6 hours. And 2 hours is normally my max, but we had started talking so much I stayed on for 6 hours. Like I had a pretty good schedule of like, I'm doing this every weekday morning, and we're gonna get it done. And people got used to that. And then I was meeting new people and all this, whatever. So I was mad. So they give you a option to appeal. So I appeal it, and they deny it immediately. You can only appeal to get your account back every 180 days. You got Keikos? You on the back of my chair doing that. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I know you're mad, but you'll be all right. So I'm like, okay, now I can't even get on to just watch people. Like, at this point, I had been watching my friends. Let's see. I had been watching my friends like, I knew their schedules. I had pretty much figured out who I was watching when. And I was like, it's not like a TV show, right? You know what time of TV show coming on. If you got something else to do, you're going to be doing whatever else you got to do, and you'll watch the TV show later. It ain't like that. It's like, we are there every single day at this specific time to have fun and kiki every day, basically. That's how it is. And I was finding connection, of course, in that group, not only because the person that I was originally on there for was one of my best friends, still is one of my best friends, and I was enjoying his conversation. But even the people I had met at that point, like I had some people numbers, phone number, like it was a community. And so I was upset because I had been enjoying that downtime and doing something fun. I normally don't do anything that's fun to me. And we would be having a blast every night. And so I'm like, okay, here comes this person trying to mess my stuff up while I'm talking about my book and whatever, and people interested in my book and asking me questions about my book, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, I had to take a break because I was so mad, like, mainly because of the Twitch processes of, like, you ain't gonna ask me no questions, you ain't gonna conduct no investigation, you ain't gonna do nothing. You just say this account is no longer active and deal with it. So I'm like, not to mention you spend money on the site, right? What 13-year-old got money to spend on the site? Like my friend's account, you can pay a certain amount and not have ads. I had an account. I didn't have ads on my account. I did not have, what was I thinking about? I also didn't have ads on one other account, I want to say. And then you can like gift them like, what's some things called? You can cheer them on with a certain amount of money. You can gift somebody a month of no ads or whatever. So I have been doing all that. Not going crazy, but you know, a 13-year-old ain't gonna be spending no money on other people. You know what I mean? So you ain't even look into my account to be like, okay, is this really what's happening? And then had the nerve to tell me I can appeal it. But in that appeal, you still didn't investigate nothing. And you tell me I can't even appeal it again for 180 days. Like, what the heck am I, what do I supposed to do in the meantime? And these people on here making money doing stuff. Like, if you did that and you was making money and that was your income, you can't do that for 180 days? For them to appeal it again and they may just like reject it again. So I was hot. So I was trying to decide whether I was just gonna come back to YouTube and start doing YouTube lives. But y'all know I've been doing YouTube lives. I had did that before and it's just like nobody that watches it basically. Like you would get one person to come in every so often to just, I don't know. It's not like Twitch. It's not a lot of people coming in on Twitch either if you knew, but it's more than YouTube, put it that way. And then the people, of course I knew people on there, and so that made it better too. We're gonna have to do a part 2 because I'm at 18 minutes already.